Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another class of project management by Ladies in Tech Africa. My name is Nancy Baba Ali. I'm going to be your instructor for today. My co instructor, as we know, or for the new persons that don't know, is Mr. Kingsley. And he's also saying hi. And welcome back to another amazing class with my fellow team members, PMs, and classmates. So today's another day for us to brainstorm, for us to relate, for us to get insight, for us to be better, a step better in our day, in the life of a PM. So yeah, hi everybody. Hi Olayemi. Hi Olaide Dafe. Hi Golf. Nice to see you in class today. Hello Oluwaseun. Good evening. Hi Haja. Oh, okay. Dorcas, hello too. And please be safe. Hi Esther. Good evening. Hi Omadasola. Hello Olaide. Hello Fidelis. Hi Bemisola. Hi Adejoke. My day was well. I hope yours too was fine, regardless. No much stress today, I hope. And also, Mother Sola, I hope your baby is not going to distract you so much in class today. I'm glad. I'm glad. I don't think Kemi is in class today because I haven't seen her. But regardless, we could just move into today's class, right? So, another day, another challenge, another life, another struggle of a PM manager, right? So, how has the team project been going? Amada Sola, it's your cross. Pick it. Nobody needs that right now. Enjoy, 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 enjoy. And my regards to her. I'm saying hello. Yeah. How has the team project been going amongst yourself? I hope it has been productive. Okay. Okoro Inyechi Deborah said she's loving it. Okay. Atichoke said it has been fine, but a lot of us are not teaming. Ooh. Whew. That sounds hectic. Um, what seems to be the problem is the team leader not allocating the tasks properly? Is there a problem with the communications in the class? Sorry, in your team? What seems to be the problem? Oh, yeah, I hear you, Adijake. The team leader is great, but a lot are inactive. Hmm. So I think how that can be resolved is by making sure everybody imputes, right? Making sure that everybody imputes something. Make sure that as a new team member, you must at least impute, even if it's a title or something, even though how far you've gone, right? Or must definitely impute one line or two lines of something to be put in the project documentations or something like that, right? Having people inactive in a team, it's not fair because because when at the end of the day you're asked what have you been working on or what have you been doing, you have little or nothing to say, and that really puts the team, that makes the team look bad, and also that's very sad for your team lead. Hello Chioma, we didn't see you in the last class. You were missed. There was not much noise, or there wasn't much noise in the class, and that was really very sad from our end. Welcome, we've missed you to class. And Choma said some people just don't want to contribute to the project, they just want to be part of the group. Okay, so I guess what you can do is you can make sure to, I don't know, if this is going to be too much work for your team lead, right? Your team lead should list the people that are very inactive in the group. Make a list, and uh, they should they should submit it uh, to the instructors or facilitators or TAs, the teacher assistant in the group, for them to sieve those inactive persons out. Uh, we'll give them a grace of maybe this week to next week. Let's say today it's Wednesday, right? Let's say we give them 1 week grace to be very active in the group, because that's not fair for your team members and your team lead, for her or for him to be the person doing all the work. It's just not fair. So they should make a list of very inactive persons, of very inactive persons, and send it down. We'll give those persons 1 week grace, and if they are not responding or not contributing, we take them out. Sorry about your health too, Choma. I do hope you get better, right? I really hope you get better. Uh, and welcome again to class. So, oh, hello, Saratu. It's nice to have you here too as well. Uh, so yeah, what more? What is going on in your groups? What's going on in your groups? I'm here to listen. Hello, Ngozi. Nice to have you in class. Nobody has anything to say about their class, about their team, sorry, about their team members, or what's the current update. I want to be in the know. I want to be in the know. Is it a bad thing for your instructor to know what's going on? Welcome, Ngozi. Thank you too. So nobody has any pointers as regards to their team members or projects, team projects, right? Of course, Trevor. I'm a PM. I'm supposed to like just Agbola Ola Jumoke. Okay, that's actually in the works to make sure that persons get groups. Mr. Kingsley was me trying to do that over the week. So don't worry. I'm sure that everybody is doing their best to make sure that everybody um finds themselves a team, right? Favor said, I identified to join Team 1 from the beginning, but it's so unfair that the team lead hasn't sent any link for me to join. Okay, Favor, that's so sad to hear from your end. I apologize. Uh, how about you just find yourself maybe another group or lay the complaint again in the platform, and then we can see how we can put you in another team. Or if you want to still be in team one, that's fine, but we'll see how we can put you in another team or find a solution for you. I'm sure one of the admins or TAs will help with that, right? Sorry again. Ezine said, my team members are the best. It's been smooth sailing. Okay, that's really nice. Sarah too said, my team four is great. My team lead Elizabeth is so proactive and nice. That is super nice. That's really great to hear. Akim Pelupi said PMs like gist. No, it's just my personality. It's not okay, but you could put that too. It's good to hear gist. It's always good to know what's in the new, what's updated. Information is power. So I'm just hearing just to maybe help you out or sort out a problem or just to know that you're fine. Chama said, I'm not going to lie, this team thing has made me know some of the best people ever. I am glad. I'm honestly glad to hear that. Esther Oluwatsumishi, I hope I pronounced it well, said, teamwork has been going well, though it's been some set of people have consistently present. Okay, okay. So we've already mentioned what we'll try to do to make sure everybody gets up on their feet, right? So that not everybody feels. Some persons shouldn't feel like they're doing all the work, and some other persons shouldn't just lay back and relax. It's not fair to the project or the team lead or your team members, right? So we'll work on that. Hi, Zoe. Hello. Uh, Cardio said, hi, please, are we going to learn PM metrics to know in the industry, coach? Definitely, we're going to work on that. Don't worry. We're just doing, more of a recap, getting to know what's the challenges and what's the and feedbacks too before we go into today's class. But don't worry, hold your horses. We'll get into today's class. So Chama said, good to be in the know, yeah. Very good to be in the know. Okay, so let's just move into today. How about last class? I want to hear what everybody or anybody learned in the last class before I do brief recap. on that. Okay. So Owando said quality management entails quality control and quality assurance. Oh, somebody was listening in the last class. Chama said quality management and quality control. I wanted to say, Chama, how did you know? But then you then said you rewatched. So how did you learn in the last class? So why you? But I like that you rewatched and you're up to speed with us in the class. Olanre Wadru said quality planning, quality control, and quality assurance. Very, very smart. Very true. Chama said the key elements and some approaches. Great. Um, Olaide Dafe said quality management techniques, which are quality assurance and quality control. Okay, so Esther said, I learned about quality management and it's important. That's amazing. That's really great. I really like that. Uh, yeah, that's pretty much it from everybody. So only 4 persons or 5 persons learned something in the last class. Ah, even Chama that is coming today is saying what she learned. So please, people that were in the last class, I want to hear what you learned. I really would love to hear what you learned. Idima Oha. No, no, you're not late. We're just doing a recap. Omodasola said, learns quality management techniques and its benefits and quality assurance, control, and planning. A girl. Yes, that's really good. That's really good. That's really good. Thank you so much for learning that. Bemi Sola said, quality management is essential because of its impact on customer satisfaction. It also reduces rework, improve efficiency, and significant cost implications. Very nice. Very nice. Very nice. You see, somebody even picked up instances too as well from the last class. Nice one, Bemisola. Oreoluwa said, I learned key elements of quality planning. That's really nice. I'm very happy. I'm thrilled that we were able to learn some things, pick some pointers. So let's keep it rolling. Let's keep it rolling. Let me take like 4 more or 5 more. Adventures of Jola, said, learned the key components of quality management. Hmm, that sounds interesting. Thank you. Uh-huh. Morenike, Morenike, sorry, said quality assurance is being proactive while quality assurance is reactive. Okay. Quality control, you mean? Uh yes. But that's really lovely, Morenike. I understood what you were saying. um Before and after planning, kind of. That's a good point, Morenike, regardless. I learned quality management is about customer and stakeholder satisfaction. Okay. And good products, project quality, right? Good results for the project, right? Those are pointers too. Thank you. Yemi said, I learned the key elements of quality control. Ooh, okay. And then Gift Okpara said, learned that both QA, somebody's talking like a PM. Okay. QA and QC aim to ensure that project outputs meet the specified quality demand, but in different ways. Hmm. Okay, these are actually really, really nice pointers from the class. I'm glad to hear that. It even sounds interesting hearing you all say it. It sounds more interesting than me thinking that I actually taught it. So I like that. I like that. Thank you, Samuel, for telling them how amazing they are. Little kisses. Okay. Okay. Welcome back, Dockers. Welcome back. You can just, try to freshen up and then come back to class. We'll just do a recap. So that could give you enough time to try and catch up with the class. Okay? Idima Oha said, I learned the techniques for quality assurance. Ooh, okay. Cardi, coach, please, where do I rewatch the last class? Is there a link? Okay, yeah, you can always rewatch it from, yeah, there should be a link. Don't worry. I'll make sure that the admin or the teacher assistants will help maybe paste the link or ask your colleagues to help you with the link, right? That could be, that's three options. So don't worry about that. Hi, Otoyosi Eliyimi. I'm sorry. Welcome to class. And hello, Dayo. Okay. I'm just going to be looking for easy names in people's names to be pronouncing so that somebody doesn't come up for me very soon. Uh okay. Let's take one more before we do the recap. One more. One more. Okay, so Cardi, your question has been answered by Bilkisu. Uh, it says the class is available on YouTube. Just click on project management playlist. Okay, I hope that helps. So people are still just coming into class. Hi, Janet. Okay, so nobody has any other points to tell me what they learned in the last class before I start the recap. Mm, okay, I believe nobody has anything to say, so we could just go straight into it, right? Okay, so last class we spoke about project management, quality management and project management. I'm so sorry, I'm stuttering. So let's use the slides. So we had the contents that we are supposed to be working for this week with this week is quality assurance and control in project management, which is QA and QC, which is what we tried our best to cover in the last class. We have quality standards and metrics in project management, which is what we're going to do our best to get into today. And then we have continuous improvement in project management. Okay. So we're still in QAs and QCs. So we'll do our best to make sure that we cover that and try to cover standards and matrix today. Okay. So I'm just going to be like a very fast reader and just do very it's like 5 or 10 seconds explanation because this is a recap. So let's go into it. Let's speed learn. Okay, hi Alice. I learned about quality control. Thank you. So, quality management refers to the processes and activities that determine and ensure that a project deliverables meet the specified requirements and are fit for purpose. In project management, quality management aims to ensure that the project outputs are efficient, effective, and consistent with customer expectations and standards. I sang a song last time with that standard. Everything I do is standard. Sorry. So yeah, quality management is essential because it impacts customer satisfaction, reduces rework, improves efficiency, and can have significant cost implications. It involves several key processes, including quality planning, quality assurance, quality control, and continuous improvement, which are going to be like the major 4 points of quality management, right? Control, assurance, and continuous improvement for planning. So when we spoke about customer satisfaction, we mentioned that for your client or the stakeholders to be fully fully satisfied, right, with your project, you have to always make sure to use QA and QC to always reevaluate to make sure that you assure your clients or stakeholders about the value that you're willing to provide as a project manager, right? And for controlling, you have to make sure that once you've identified possible challenges or you found much more productive ways to handle challenges or better results for your project, you understand, you can try to tackle it. These are pointers you use to tackle it to make sure that your project reaches optimum results, right? And Olayemi said, I learned that quality management ensures the project outputs are efficient, effective, and consistent for customers' expectations and standards. Thank you. Next point is quality planning, which we said quality planning is the process of identifying the quality standards relevant to the project and determining how to achieve them. It ensures that the deliverables meet the agreed upon requirements and that processes are in place to monitor and verify this. In key elements of and quality planning, we said setting quality objectives, determining determining relevant quality standards, industry standards, and customers' expectations, defining quality metrics and performance indicators, establishing a quality management plan. Okay, so for example, let me give an example. Whenever you, as a project manager, right, you have a project that you're taking or you're foreseeing, when you do not carry your stakeholders along, right, in your planning and all, imagine a scenario where you just give them an end result, or they just come and they see maybe a building and the building color is in purple and you didn't take them all in the process, right? You didn't take them all in the planning. The structure is beautiful, right? The house is amazing. The utilities are solid, right? The resources, everything is peachy perfect, but then the color is just not working. So just that one thing doesn't reaches your customers' satisfaction or stakeholders' satisfaction, right? So they could decide to change the color back to green or brown or black. So that is going to be cost effective. That is going to be a jeopardy in your work. That is going to reduce, increase more costing, right? And also can also diminish the quality of your work because you're done with your project, but then you have this one blooper that had to take you back. So the fact that while you're planning, you also have to take or carry along your stakeholders or clients is very necessary in your planning stage, in your execution stage, and pretty much um, post finishing or post production stage. Yeah. So for the second slide, sorry, it was quality assurance. What is on the slide? Sorry. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Thank you, Bunni. Bunni. Yeah, we talk about quality assurance and control. Thank you. So in quality assurance is a proactive process focused on ensuring that the project processes are structured to produce the desired quality. It ensures that the defined quality standards are following during project execution and identifies potential issues before they arise. So quality assurance is just you assuring your client stakeholders or team members that whilst we use this methodology, or whilst we use these resources, or whilst we use these suppliers, or while we use this event, or while we use this location, I can assure you that there will be minimalistic um, effect on the project, and it will also increase productivity. And if we follow the timeline and deadline, everything will be solid. We would only have maybe 0 to 5% chances of failure, which is very slim and hopefully does not happen, right? So quality assurance, it's by Mary. We're just doing a recap, is pretty much that. So uh, it also involves you always doing audits, meaning that you always check in your budget to make sure that you're in line with your budget. It fits perfectly with the project. It fits perfectly with the project that you're working on, and does not lead to overcost. Sorry, Mary, you said you can't hear me. Um, can you hear me? Can you guys hear me? Because she said, okay, you can hear me. Okay, great. I think Mary, it's from your own end. Maybe you should rectify that. Thank you, Choma. So process audit and assessment. This is whereby you're always going to evaluate yourself. Hi, okay, Grace, welcome. This way you always evaluate yourself, evaluate your costing, evaluate what you're spending on, what are we underspending on, what are we overspending on, are we in line with the budget? You understand? Making sure that everything is accounted for and can lead to very good and sound documentation too as well, right? The first try can be a bit challenging, but then when you keep on practicing, like I said, practice makes perfect. Constantly um, doing the work, right? You get used to it, and you don't make those little minor mistakes anymore, right? So um, lesson sorry about your network. So focus on preventing defects before they occur, which is also negative brainstorming in a nutshell. Continuous monitoring of processes to ensure adherence to quality standards. This could be by you having meetings with your teammates, you having constant project evaluation, always making sure that the task sheet is up to date, or the Gantt chart is up to date with the process, making sure that every step is accounted for, right? So that's you checking, making sure that the project reaches its optimum quality standard, right? For yourself, for your team, your stakeholder, or clients. involvement of all project stakeholders in the quality assurance process. Okay, I've been mentioning this quite often. So it's very necessary for you to have your stakeholders up to date with your plan, your PM plan, right? Because it's their event or it's their project or it's their funds, right? So it's their money. So imagine you just doing decisions, making decisions or doing things based on your own idea or from your own preferences, right? We're humans. The fact that I like blue or I love pink doesn't mean that everybody loves blue or loves pink or likes pink. There's some persons that the moment I'm using colors because that's like a very easy example I can use, right? Because or packaging, right? The packaging set I might like to use maybe much more on the plus side, and maybe the client doesn't want to use something that costs that much and just maybe wants to go for something linear, right? Something lean or minimalistic, right? So those are things that you have to put into consideration when you're planning to make sure that your stakeholders are up to date with each step. That's pretty much you feedback from your end to your stakeholders. Or you can also do slides to show them progress status, you understand, and also show them the level of progress too as well, right? Be it document, be it in a slide form, be it in physical form for them to, physically see the progress of the project, whatever preferences or whatever industry you find yourself in. Yeah, just use any of these processes. So in the third slide, we have quality control. Okay, quality control. Quality control is a reactive process that focuses on identifying and fixing defects in deliverables. It involves inspecting, testing, and reviewing the outputs to ensure they meet the required quality standards. Okay, Bumi, I'm coming. Let me finish this point. So quality control is a reactive process that focuses on identifying and fixing defects in deliverables. It involves inspecting, testing, and reviewing the outputs to ensure they meet the required quality standards, right? So, in key elements, we have inspection and testing deliverables, identifying deviations from quality standards, implementing corrective actions to address defects, verifying that project deliverables meet customer requirements, right? So what this is just saying in a nutshell is that when you have a project, right, or when you make decisions, or with even the level of assurance, right, there is a there is um a 1 to 10% chance that something might go wrong or something might seem better for you to work with at your team with your team members or to your stakeholders or whoever is involved in your project, right? So you are always supposed to constantly evaluate yourself, make sure that you test the product out before you deliver them, make sure that you're inspecting your team members, tracking down their progresses. What are those little problems or what are those little costing that is affecting the project? What are those unnecessary costs that are affecting the budget, right? What are those little menial tasks that shouldn't even be in existence while the project is going on? So you always noticing defects and challenges and addressing them before they maybe escalate or even become anything, or picking the methodology that you feel would be better in that current situation that you find yourself in the project, right? That that is how quality control is executed. So when me asked the question, she said, please, how do you balance maintaining quality in the project and facing the problem of lowest bidder? Uh, Lowest bidder. How do I explain that? So from what I've understood, right, is quality and low bidder. This two words can sound very heavy, right? In a project. So you have a budget, right, to work with. Every project manager has a budget to work with, or has a time frame to work with, or has resources to work with, right? And it's always best for you to recommend the best quality, right, as a PM, to make sure that it reaches optimum, and the futures could be long lasting, could be low maintenance rate, could be much more profitability and value for your money, right? But you would also understand that there are some stakeholders that do not believe in you putting in the best, right? Not everybody's always all about quality, right? Not everybody's all about the best. Some persons will want to say, let's manage. Some persons will want to say, there's always a cheaper resource that we can work with. So it depends on the term of that project. Is it a project that it's going to be for a short term period and might not need that much resources? And if you're going to be thinking of cost for next time, or they don't want to put much in that project, right? Then you have to consider the fact that if it's low quality that they want, if you can take it off as a PM, fine. But if you can't, honestly, I would say don't do it. But if it's something that you can work around with the budgeting and still give good grade resources, source for good resources that can be of fair price, that can go with your budget, then I would advise you that you take that road, that route you get. Just make sure that your documentation, you're allocating, and you're time bound, and you're making very realistic and relevant decisions, right? You're making smart decisions for your team members, and you're just doing your best. You're making sure that you are using all the opportunities you can get for the project, and try your best to also eliminate threats, right? That's one way that you can go about it. For that's just my own point of view for that. Erin said, I'll reach to you. I don't have access to Telegram presently because my phone screen broke. Oh, sorry about that. Adejoke said, maintain your high quality. This integrity will work for you in the long run. Thank you so much for me for that. Adejoke for that pointer too as well. Um, so yeah, let's move to the next point. So we have continuous improvement. Continuous improvement is the ongoing effort to improve processes, products, and services. It focuses on refining processes and outcomes over time to enhance overall efficiency and quality. It Project management. This concept drives consistent enhancement of both process performances and product outcomes. So key approaches to continuous improvement. This is plan, do, check, act. PDCA circle. A systematic process of planning improvements, implementing them, checking results, and acting on findings, feedbacks, right? Kaizen, a philosophy of continuous incremental improvements that engage all stakeholders. Lean methodology focuses on eliminating waste, optimizing processes, and increasing value delivery. Six Sigma, a methodology that uses data analysis to reduce defect and variability in processes. So for the PDCA, it's just you pretty much re-evaluating, picking best optimum results, and making sure that you act on it and also react on it, right? So, and then for the Kaizen, it's just for you to constantly make improvements with your stakeholders being in the loop of the project update. Lean methodology, this is whereby you focus more on your resources, You don't waste your resources. You make sure that everything is accounted for, and you have maybe not too many persons on the project to make sure to help um, um to help reduce costs. Yeah, and to make sure that the project is delivered smoothly and perfectly. And the Six Sigma is the use of data analysis, meaning that you use all the data you have, maybe from your documentations, from your audits, your budgets, all that, right, to make good decisions that will help you in the long run in your project. Okay. So we have quality assurance and control in project management. It's just going to be more of a recap again. So QA and QC are two critical components of a comprehensive quality management system within project management. Both processes aim to ensure that project output meets the specified quality requirements and do so in different ways. Quality assurance is focused on preventing defects through planned and systematic activities during the project processes, while QC focuses on identifying and correcting defects in the finished product. So QA, in a nutshell, says that it helps you to note when there is a problem and assure that, or that's you doing negative brainstorming and making sure that you have solutions to that regardless, and making sure that you take decisions that will not lead to failure, or making the best decisions in the long run to make sure that the project reaches its best result. While for QC, it's for when the project has reached maybe its each stage. Definitely you would have to retest it, you would have to uh, check check it, right? And that will help you to notice if there are any defects, if there are any problems that you need to source out, that you need to control to make sure that it reaches its optimum results. So key characteristics of quality assurance: we have proactive approach, process oriented, compliance with standards, continuous improvement. For proactive approach, we have QA focuses on preventing problems before they occur, ensuring that the project is executed in a controlled and structured manner. Meaning that when you've noticed the problem in a project that you're working on, you have to be very, very proactive, very hasty to make decisions that will that will not affect the project, but instead make the project better. Process oriented, it says improve emphasizes improving the processes that are used to create deliverables. If processes are effective, the final product is likely to meet quality expectations. Meaning that if you follow the processes right, if you follow the right decisions, if you make the right decisions, if you have the right team, if you have the right resources, the process, you follow it correctly, you meet the best result at the end of the day because you have done your homework, you've done your planning, you've done your scheduling, everything is smooth, right? So that's how you go about it, and that's how you get, a very good quality or unique project, right? And then we have compliance with standards. QA ensures that the project adheres to established standards, guidelines, and procedures, whether they're industry standards, ISO, Sigma, Six Sigma, and organizational processes. This simply, in a nutshell, says that in that industry or in that project that you're working with, right, they have a structure of things. They have how they go about their own way. They have their own rules. They have their own terms. They have their own vision, which may be very different from a project that you've worked on before, right? Every project should be tailored to that designated project, right? So you should try to adhere to the rules. Don't make decisions based on the last project because they did it this way and it was better, and their rules or their regulations does not align with this current one. You have to adapt to the standards of that project that you're working with or the industry you find yourself in currently, right? Bemisola said, according to the last slide, does it mean that QC can't be done while the project is still ongoing. Oh no, QC is quality control, meaning that even while the project is still ongoing, you have to make sure to do that. You have to make sure to help make right decisions, right? To make right decisions and also to reevaluate yourself while the project is still ongoing. That is why it's called control. The moment that it also reaches its end result, you still have to make sure to to do testing and see if everything is perfect before you deliver, right? So yeah, that's how you do it. Like for example, if you're writing exams, not everybody does it, but most people do it. You you answer a question, you write down the answer. When you're done with all your answers, don't you always go back to review it? Maybe your essay or your fill in the blanks, right? You always go back to review it, except for now that maybe you're using uh, you maybe a PC or something, and they don't let you go back. But if you're using maybe um, paper form, right, soft hard copies, you tend to always reevaluate yourself before you finally submit. So that's pretty much what QC is, making sure that your project, product, or industry documentations is perfect and ready to go, right? Okay, okay. Thank you, QC, for handling that. Veronica has a point saying the project is not closed until deliverables are accepted, and that's why QC is done before deliverables or products are handed over. Okay, it's not closed until deliverables are accepted, and that's why QC is done before deliverables or products are handed over. Okay, that sounds like a good point too. So continuous improvement is QA involved regularly reviewing and refining processes to improve efficiency and effectiveness. This is often done through methods like audit, excuse me, process evaluations, and performance monitoring. So even in marketing, they'll always tell you that even while you do post marketing or post sales, you always try to get feedbacks and maintain your clients or customers, right? Because the more you can't just finish because you've converted one customer and he has bought one product from you, that should be the end. No, you have to make sure to get feedback from them, show them more of your brands and how they can also use the products more effectively, give them tips on how they can um, check maybe stores and see more of your products, a whole range to pick from, right? That's for marketing. But then for PMs, for project managers, you evaluate your audit and performance and your performance from your team members and your resources, and also you evaluate the processes. What steps did you take? What were the steps that you took that almost led to failure, that you had to pick up a methodology or a system or a decision to bring back the project on track, right? So all this have to be in consideration for quality assurance. So steps in quality assurance are define standards and processes, establish the quality standards that the project needs to meet, along with the processes required to achieve those standards. We always cross check before submission. Thank you so much, Elsie, for that point. Oh, and they'll say QC is for internal control system. Okay, and QA for stakeholders like audits. Okay, you can go about it that way too as well. Oh, and that's really pretty. That's really a nice insight too as well to things. So we have develop. Sorry, I think we I skipped the first one. Define standards and processes. Establish the quality standards that the project needs to meet, along with the processes required to achieve those standards. So like how I always tell you to always make sure that you understand the project, have the scope overview, know what their mission is, what the end goal is. The moment you can see the end before the start, right? The starting mark is okay. Can anyone hear me? I don't know what happened. Okay, so I don't know what happened to the screen that I went off, but I don't know if you can see me. Regardless, can you see me? No, you can't see me. Okay, I think that's from our end. So how about this? How about we go on a break, right? How about we take our break early today? How about we take our break early today? Then I'm sure it will be rectified before we come back for our break. Okay, thank you. See you soon. Bye. Hi, everybody. Sorry. Welcome back. So, I think we're done with the break. So this isn't the slide we were in, but since we're already done with like the first half, I feel we should move ahead since pretty much everybody has understood the concept of QAs and QCs. So on this slide, although let's move to the relationships between quality assurance and quality control. Although QAs and QC have different focuses, they are complementary processes. Yes, it did. Oh my Dasala, it did. Although QA and QCs have different focuses, they are complementary processes to ensuring project quality. Both are essential for a robust quality management system. Yes. Quality assurance aims to prevent defects by improving the processes used to create deliverables. Hi. And quality control identifies and corrects defects in deliverables after they have been produced. Together, QA and QC ensure that both the processes and the outputs of a project meet the required quality standards. QA is focused on process improvements to avoid future defects, while QC focuses on detecting and fixing current issues. So we have importance of QA and QC in project management. It minimizes rework and waste. Uh, it ensures customer satisfaction, cost efficiency, compliance with standards and regulations, and increased team productivity. I'm doing as fast and as much as possible to make sure that we get into quality standards and metrics. So you'll get the slide by the end, hopefully today or tomorrow. I'll make sure of that you get the slides, so that you can catch up for persons that didn't make it in the last class. Even though you have the video to rewatch, it's good for you to have the soft copy as well of the slides, right? So QA, yeah, they are DJK. So integrating Q and QC in project lifecycle. We have the initiation plan, the planning, the execution, the monitoring and control, and then the closing. So in the initiation plan, this is you having an overview and knowing what the goal is. In the planning, this is you making step phases or stages for the project. Execution, this is where you get resources, allocate tasks to persons, and then, sorry, I'm looking away from the screen. And then monitoring and control, this is where you evaluate everything, make sure that everybody's doing their part, everybody's giving you good feedback. We're not, we're checking our audits and our budget. And then closing. Yes, Jama, pretty much. Then closing. This is you making sure that you use control, quality control, to make sure that you do testing, re-evaluations, and best results, and then voila, your end project is Symphony. Amazing. I hope that was right. But yeah, uh, conclusion of quality control and quality assurance. So QC and QA are integral parts of ensuring a project meets its quality objectives. QA focuses on improving the process to prevent defects, while QC focuses on identifying and fixing defects in the finished deliverables. Together, they ensure that both the project execution and its outputs meets the necessary standards leading to customer satisfaction, cost efficiency, and compliance with regulations. Effective integration of both QA and QC in project management significantly enhances the likelihood of project success. Yay! That's the end for QA and QC. So, quality standards and metrics in project management. Yay! This is us now. So, introduction to quality standards and metrics. In project management, maintaining a high standard of quality is essential to ensure that the final deliverables meet customers' expectations and adhere to the industry or organizational standards. To achieve this, to achieve this, projects must be guided by quality standards and measured by quality metrics. These elements form the foundation of quality management and allow teams to define what constitutes quality and how to measure it effectively. So this is pretty much like KPIs that we had in the last class where Omadafala corrected me when I said key pointers to key performance indicators. Yeah. Um, it's just how you can track the productivity of the project, and also other metrics can be cost value, they can be employee satisfaction, they can be stakeholder satisfaction or client satisfaction, right? And the whole point is that you adhere to what the project goal or vision is, right? Make sure that you're staying in line with the standards and with the plans that you've drafted out. So, number one, we have quality standards. Quality standards are predefined, agreed upon criteria that ensures that the deliverables of a project meet the required level of excellence. These standards are often established by industry bodies, regulatory authorities, or the organization itself. They guide the processes and outputs of a project, ensuring consistency, safety, and reliability in final product. Characteristics of quality standards, defined expectations. Quality standards provide a clear definition of what is considered acceptable or unacceptable in terms of deliverables. Consistency, they ensure uniformity to project outputs so the quality remains consistent across similar projects or within different phases of of the same project. Compliance, adhering to standards help helps ensure compliance with legal, regulatory, and industry specific requirements, while customer satisfaction, meeting or exceeding quality standards, helps satisfy customer needs, enhancing trust and loyalty. So let me take the 4 points. Defining the expectations. This node is giving me biology vibes. Sorry about. I hope that's good. I hope that's good. Okay, but yeah, defined expectations. So you have to know what your stakeholder or your client, or if the project is in line with the maybe the state's rules, or what are like, for okay, for example, there are some regions or some places that you acquire land, right? And you want to maybe build like a lounge or a restaurant. There are some reserve areas, right, that they don't allow you to have this kind of structures, right? That they don't allow you to have all these structures. So you have to put all of those things into consideration. And if you have that structure in that place, what are the returns? What do you think the returns will be? Do you think it's a very strategic location? Do you think it's a strategic location and things like that that you have to put into mind, right? So consistency. This is making sure that you're putting enough work, you're putting enough time, you're evaluating, you're making sure that the quality of the product of the project or the product is is top notch, and it's something that can be desirable. It's something that can be desirable and acquired at a very good rate and good timing, and it does not supersede the project itself. So we have compliance, which is adhering to ensure compliance with legal, regulatory, and industry-specific requirements. So some of the oh, sorry about that, tsunami, Bisan. So, like we mentioned about the structures and um, residential areas that do not like all this like lounges or restaurants, they adhere to serious um, homey and conduct of living, right? Where they don't want much people to be coming maybe into the estate or the area. You understand all of that. Is it something that are you is your contractor going to be selling um products that are good, you understand, in that region? I'm using place or structure for this example, right? Because these are things that most of the time you have the government involved in them, and you have to abide the law about the laws. You have to abide by the laws of the nation and also of that area or given state or locality you find yourself in, pretty much. And then we have customer satisfaction. This is where ours you make sure your client is fully satisfied with the project outcome and also is carried along, like the Kaizen methodology that we mentioned, and the P and the the Kaizen methodology, where you have to constantly make sure that your clients or stakeholders are being updated about the phases, stages, and end result of the project, right? So yeah, this is for quality standards. Then quality metrics. Quality metrics are quantitative. I don't know what's wrong with my tongue. Quantitative measurements that provide data on how well a project's processes and deliverables align with the established quality standards. Metrics allow project managers and stakeholders to assess, track, and monitor the quality of outputs at various stages of the project's lifecycle. They are essential for identifying areas of improvement and ensuring that quality objectives are met. Okay. Choma, welcome to class today. We know you're in class. We know you're in class. So it's not really that difficult. Maybe it's because I'm not giving as much examples, but I'll do my best to give as much examples. Measurable. Metrics must provide quantifiable data that can be tracked over time to evaluate performances. Relevant. This is like SMART goals. Who can remember SMART goals? Um, Specific, measurable, attainable, and relevant with time bound, right? That's pretty much for quality metrics. You can link it to SMART goals. So yeah, Adejoke said QC in production can be strange. Some inconsistencies just come up and you wonder how it wasn't noticed. Yes, things like that can tend to come up in play, right? And it's not something to beat yourself over, right? It's not something to beat yourself over, because these very tiny things, they at the time or at the heat of the moment, they don't come as a threat. You tend to see it as maybe one of the steps, right? But then when you that is why it's important for you to always reevaluate, because the moment you reevaluate, you tend to see the little mistakes that you thought they weren't there, and you then perfect them, right? I did okay. So yeah, it's very true. It can be very which word can I use? It can be very annoying, but yeah, that's it. So yeah, so yes, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time bound. For quality metrics, you could also link it with SMART goals. Um, It's a methodology that we spoke about, I think in the first sections of our class. So in measurable, we have metrics must provide quantifiable data that can be tracked over time to evaluate performances. So for measurable, whenever you've done all the processes, right? You've done all the workings. You have your finance team working on the audit, working on the budget so as well that you have maybe delivered, and then all this will help you to know where the costing was more, where you should cut back on your spendings, and how you can make sure that uh you manage your resources fairly good, right? Good results, right? And then for relevance, the selected metrics should align with the project's quality, objectives, and provide meaningful insight, meaning that you have to be very realistic. Do I need this in my project? Does the supplier even needs to supply us extra nails when we have enough nails, right? Does the does the interior decorator or the architect needs to um, help us with more maybe wood for the setups when we have enough wood, right? All those have to be put in consideration. No matter so like you're always scared of charts. You shouldn't be. They're not that bad. They're not that bad. They can be hectic, but they're not that bad. Actionable. Is that right? Actionable, yes. Metrics should offer data that can drive decision making, helping project teams to make corrective actions when needed. So what this is saying in a nutshell is that you still it's very important for you to be able to track your team members' productivity, and also you should be able to track down, like I said, your resources and the processes, right? When you do this, it helps you to make good action, take good actions on where you feel this solution can be taken to make this easier. That solution can be used to make that better. Just helps you to brainstorm better, and then you don't just think about these solutions and just keep them in your head, or you people just discuss about it, and then yeah, okay, if we do this, this will be better, right? Okay, that's good. You don't just end it there on that table, or don't end it there on that Zoom call or Google Meet, right? You have to actually take actions and make sure that those actions turn into good results. And then for time bound, metrics should be monitored at specific intervals to track performance during the project life cycle. So yeah, remember how we always saying to have deadlines is very important, to have timelines is very important, to schedule is very important. This will help you not to have a forever project, to have a very time bound project, to have a good plan, a good budget to work with, and realistic goals to work towards, right? And it's just uh, it's just something you also have to monitor to, and something that you have to make sure that you meet up. Monitoring your deadlines or your phases or your charts, depending. Yes. Okay. So types of quality matrix. Told you there was no chart. Okay, Adejake said, does our project need all to have all the charts we have studied? Can we use only the charts we consider necessary, or they are all necessary? Okay. I would love it if you could use your discretion. You can use the most charts that you feel should be most necessary on your project, right? Use the charts that I feel will be that resonates more with your project. Why does it sound like you're trying to run away from a grant chart? I did okay. It sounds like that. But okay. Yeah, you can use that. It would be lovely to see that you use a chart. You don't necessarily need to use everything, but one that can resonate well. That yeah, that resonates well with your project. Omada Sola said, "Wow, genuinely shocked. I've constructed the chart in my head. I'm so glad you get that's so nice. Should our present project have all the charts we've been taught, or just the ones we consider necessary? To help save time and make sure that you really deliver properly. I don't want you to be bombarded with so much things. I think you can just pick the most necessary charts to use. It's not by force for you to use everything, right? But just make sure that it aligns with your project, and when you deliver it, it's something that we can give you good markings with. Each chart we've taught you so far will add more pointers, but your deliverable also matters, right? How you deliver it also matters. So pick the chart that you feel is most necessary, that can work with, and yeah, each one could get the extra points, but at your own discretion, choose the charts that you feel will be most necessary. And I like the fact that Omada Sola said she's already having pictures of charts in her head. But that's beautiful. So let's go back to class. Types of quality metrics we have: process metric, measure effectiveness and efficiency of processes used in projects. This metrics helps identify bottlenecks, inefficiencies, or areas that need process improvements, right? So when you say like, sorry, so when you say like, um, uh, sorry, I'm skipping. So for let me just go straight to the point. We have inefficiencies and areas that need process improvement, right? So when you have a project that you're working on, right, the processes, like I've mentioned earlier, uh, it's very important for you to always reevaluate, like I mentioned, right? And you could always have troubles. You could get stuck in a problem. You could get stuck in a phase. And the fact that you have metrics, right? It helps you to know, okay, we've wasted so many time on this point. We've wasted or on this stage or on this phase. How can we get out of this phase in good time to meet up with the deadlines we have for this project, right? So, and inefficiencies. For inefficiencies, what are those problems that we are not able to meet up with? What are those little setbacks that we are having that is not making us to be very effective? That's not making us to be very active. That we're not tackling um, correctly or to our full capacity, right? And areas that we need to improve in, that we could do this maybe in lesser time or in shorter time frames, and make sure that the project is still very seamless, right? So for the pointers we have here, we have circle time, the total time required to complete a specific process from start to finish. We have process efficiency, the percentage of total process time that adds value to the final product or service, and defect removal efficiency, the percentage of defects that are successfully identified and removed during the development phase. So when you have like, let me use should I use like a software? Let's use a software. Uh, when you have let's say you're managing a software, or you're working with techies or engineers or developers, right? If there's a product, right, that should be out, let's say in 6 months time or 3 months time, depending on how the project time or the client product should be out, you would note you would notice that they would have stages and phases. There will be a research phase. There's research time. There is execution time. There is testing time. There is dummy time, prototype time, and then we have the end product, right? So whilst all the stages are, in plan or in process, right? You have to be very conscious about the timing. What's the time frame for this, and how are we going to finish this research stage? Let's say the research stage we have highest 2 weeks, right? And by the end of the first week we have no results. So that is very sad and that's really bad. So you have to look for solutions to make sure that you have good substantial research, and make sure that the research is backed and is something that is tangible, that we can work with, or the client will be satisfied with. So process efficiency, this is the time frame that is involved. This also involves time frame and productivity rate. If the first week they were not able to be productive, that is really bad and even on you, because maybe you didn't put enough pressure or you didn't communicate to them the intensity of the project or the time frame, or they are not aware of the time frame for it. So you could then say that they didn't have um, enough productive time or enough work time over that first week, so therefore they don't get maybe they're paid for that week, because you're going to be you're being paid by the hour, and you've wasted, let's say, more than 48 to maybe 50 hours, 45 hours, not doing anything. So yeah, you have to think of that, and how can you tackle it by the next time, for either the next project or for the next phase of that project. So defect removal efficiency, this is where you also strategize on processes that you felt were not, or that you feel were not really necessary, maybe because you already have the product idea in mind, or maybe the client has already drafted out a document of what the project is supposed to look like. Maybe he has even helped with research, and maybe even has like a prototype. He just needs you to do the back end, the coding, and the product overview, and maybe he just needs the technical, excuse me, he doesn't need technical backings from maybe your company or your team members, to be able to make sure that the quality of the project comes out superb, right? So these are things that you have to put into consideration. What were those little defects that also popped up during the time? Was it because of the testing phase took much more than was expected, and maybe code wasn't working, or maybe there were too many bugs, and the product was just, the programming is just bad. You understand? You have to put all of this in consideration. Do they need to upskill? And do we need to have more meetings to make sure that they're actually doing their work? You have to put all of that in consideration when you're using the process metrics, making sure that each stage is accounted for and everybody is actually delivering. And yeah, you are still in time with both deadlines and the project timeline. So we have product metrics. Measure the quality of the final product or deliverable. These metrics focus on the performance, reliability, and overall quality of the output. Like I mentioned in the programming, and the end product of whatever your client or maybe stakeholder wishes to be the end result of that project that you are overseeing. We have the fact that you have to make sure that there is assurance, QA and QC. In the QA aspect, you make sure that the project documentations, and maybe the prototype is all ready and set for evaluation for your projects, for the stakeholder, for the client. And then project control is prior to when you deliver to your stakeholder or client. You make sure to test the project and see that the product, sorry, and see that okay, everything is working fine. There is no glitches, there is no bugs, there is no anything. Everything is smooth and willing and ready to set sail, right? So these are things you have to put in consideration with the product. So we have defect density, number of defects identified per unit of measurement, defects by 1,000 lines of code in software development. Yeah. Mean time to failure, the average time a product or system operates before a failure occurs, and rework percentage, the percentage of the total work that needs to be reworked. What? Sorry, I think I went to the next slide. I was struggling to read. Oh my god, I'm sorry. And the screen is glitching. Okay, that needs to be reworked due to defects or non-compliance with standards. Akim Pelu's piece said, I actually like the Gantt charts, especially the done on Microsoft project. Oh, okay. That's lovely. That's really lovely. Um, so yeah, that's it for product metrics too as well. Making sure that you do test runs in a nutshell, making sure that you can identify when there are glitches or what is the rate of the project failure before the product is ready to be tested or even delivered to the project, to the stakeholder or the client. And rework percentage, how many times did you have to work on it to make sure that the project um, was was done or is done in the timeline that has been given to the company, sorry, or to you as the project manager to manage the process. Uh, okay. Uh, Types of quality metrics number three is customer satisfaction metrics. These metrics gauge the satisfaction of customers or end users with the final deliverable. They often provide direct feedback on the success of the project from the customer's perspective. So, in the first point, we have customer satisfaction score, a survey based metric that measures customer satisfaction with the product or service. Net Promoter Score, which is measures the likelihood of customers recommending the product or service to others. And then customer complaints, track the number of formal complaints or issues raised by customers regarding the deliverables. So, in a nutshell, whilst you've done your project, right, you've delivered it to your customer or to your client, it's always good for you to have feedback, right? It's always good for you to have feedbacks, and the level of results you get, maybe you do A and B testing, the same project with different yeah, maybe you take out A and B testing, right? And maybe A, persons on the A say that they like the interface, they like the experience, and persons on the B say that no, they don't like the experience or interface from that same or maybe two different projects that you've created, right? So you pick the best one out of the two and make sure that you deliver that you feel the stakeholder would be much more um, connected to, right? And then we have for the net promoter score, which is recommendations. How sure are you that the products that you have or the project will be recommended to other persons? And this is not just even in what do you call it? The tech space, also in other industries. What is the chance that the company you work for or the industry you work for will be recommended by the customer because of maybe you as the project manager, you made sure that the project timeline was short and precise, and make sure that the process was smooth and clean, and made sure that the project itself that they work that you overlooked, or the product is a very tangible, is very good, very clean, very usable, very accessible, and yeah, very considerable by other persons. How sure that they're going to recommend to other persons, and what are the chances that you get that maybe when you create surveys to maybe your clients or persons that use the product, and be like, because if you notice when you're taking surveys, they'll ask you, not even surveys, even when you're applying for some things, they'll ask you, how did you get to know about us, right? And then you see options like job sites. I'm using job sites. Okay, yeah, they could use options like job site. They could use social media. They could use recommended by a friend or recommended by worker, points like this, right? And some of them can be influences by what you see, maybe from the marketing sales pitch or from the branding. All these things are things that you also have to put into consideration. And customer complaints, definitely not everything is going to be perfect for everybody, right? And there's always room for adjustment, and there's always room for growth. You definitely get clients or customers that will be like, oh, we felt, or I feel you could have done this better. Maybe you should have taken this route instead of the other route to make sure that the product reaches this way. Or some persons will just say that, honestly, I don't even want to use the product because I have no use for the products right now as a need in my life. So you have to consider all of this, and then think of how you can make this product a need for everybody. So these are things that you have to put into consideration. So we have project performance metrics. These metrics focus on the overall performances of the project in terms of meeting quality objectives within the constraints of time, costs, and scope. Examples, we have cost of quality, the total cost associated with detecting, and correcting defective work. Schedule variance, which is a measure of the difference between the planned schedule and the actual project progress. And then we have first pass yield, which is the percentage of deliverables that meet quality standards without needing rework or corrections. All things being said and done, if God God being on your side, and God blessing the software engineers, the back-end engineer, the front-end engineer, the UI UX, product designer, and the codes and everything works perfectly fine. That is the first pass yield. So it's just joy and just bliss that the product is sound and clean and good to go. So that's just what first pass yield um, entails. So we have schedule variance, which is the measure of the difference between the planned schedule and the actual project progress. And then we have first pass cost, which is to measure of the and what you get and the actual progress and the process to how you acquired it and the timeline how you acquired it. Sometimes you can be. What about now, Ngozi? Can you hear me? Can anybody hear me? Can anybody hear me? Okay. I think they can hear me. Okay. They can hear me. What about now? Can you hear me? Oh my goodness. Okay. Can hear me. Thank you. Thank you so much. So, okay. Thank you, Jenny. So yes, so we have cost of quality. How much did it take for us to spend on this project, on this product? Sometimes when you think of all payment processes, all you have to pay for even the service that you're paying for, and the sites that you'll be using to pay for. Some of them involve subscriptions, some of them involves like a very large amount to host some of these languages or programs. So we have to be very meticulous about this and concise. Do we need some of those costings? Is there a way we can use a much freer and better hosting site that we don't necessarily need to spend much cost on it and it will still do the same work? Or does this project requires us to spend more on some of these websites and to subscribe for all this? And what is the price range that we're going to be putting um, to this product? Is the client willing to pay this much? Is the client willing to pay this much for the hosting, for the services, for the research? There are so many processes, right? So you have to put all of this too into consideration for your metrics and to be able to track the progress of the project. So we have another point, which is developing and implementing quality standards and metrics, right? So, to effectively manage quality in a project, it is essential to carefully select and implement quality standards and metrics. The process involves several key steps. Identify quality objectives, select relevant standards, define key metrics, establish baseline measurements, monitor and measure, analyze results, take corrective actions, report on quality performances. Maybe it's because I've been talking a lot instead of making points, like real life points that I'm used to for you guys. That's why it's harder for you to understand, Rachel. But don't worry, like I said, I'll send the slides for everyone to go through in their leisure time. Please, can we go back a bit? Okay, Rachel, where do you expect us to go back to? Where do you want us to go back to? Let me see if I can quickly do a recap because it's almost 9, which means class is going to be over soon. Let me see if I can take the class back by some few minutes. Okay, I haven't seen anything. So let me just carry on. Identify quality objectives based on customer expectations, regulatory requirements. Okay. Requirements and organizational goals define the specific quality objectives for the project. These should address the performance, durability, reliability, and compliance aspects of the deliverables. So Rachel said she wants us to go to the last slide, which is types of quality matrix. Thank you, Philsin, for that pointer. Okay, thank you, Adejoke. So I think we could just go ahead. Don't worry, Rachel. You'll get the slides and you can rewatch this at your leisure time. Let's just finish it, and time is going. So, when we spoke about identifying quality objectives, we spoke about performance, durability, reliability, and compliance. I'm sorry about that. Okay, I'm really doing my best to simplify it. So, when we talk about performance, this is you just tracking down the level of commitment and work and results from team members and workers. Durability, how durable is the project? How can it be marketed? What are the qualities? What are the values? What is the key pointers to take from this from the projects or from the products that we're working on, right? reliability. How reliable is the project? How sure are we that we don't take it to the client and it's not going to have a glitch, or there's not going to be a bug that will just make sure that all our hard work goes into the gutters and compliance aspects of the deliverables. This is whereby you make sure that the product, it's something that can be relatable and understandable, easy to use, and can be communicated swiftly the to the stakeholders, right? Sorry, I did just even making the slides, it was like a lot. So we have select relevant standards, which is choose the appropriate quality standards, which is ISO, Six Sigma, TQM. They will guide the project processes and outputs. The standards should be aligned with the project objectives and industry requirements. In three, we have define key metrics. Identify the specific quality metrics that will provide meaningful data on both process, performance, and product quality. Ensure that the metrics are measurable, relevant, and actionable. And for four, we have before implementing the metrics, establish baseline performance levels. This provides a reference point to compare ongoing project performances. How about I just take two before we go? Monitor and measure throughout the project's life cycle. Regularly collect data using the selected metrics. This will allow project managers to monitor progress and identify any deviations from quality standards. I feel like this is just going to be like it's a repetition of almost pretty much what I've been explaining. But because of there's so many words and terminologies and pointers, I'm sure everybody's exhausted. And then analyze results. Pretty much that's feedback in a nutshell. Feedback and evaluating. Make sure that you take your time to know the processes that was easier for the project. Make sure to know what works best for this project and other projects, how you can use the process you've used to gain the best result for the project. And we still have a few more to go. Sorry. Yeah, we just have one slide to go. Sorry, just one slide. Let's try and round up with this one. Okay, choosing the right standards. Selecting the appropriate quality standards can be challenging, especially in complex. Yeah, so many repeated words. Very true, very true. But then if it's not repetitive, it's not going to stick in your head. I feel the more it's repeated, the more it stays in your head. It's just my own point of view. Sorry, Sarah, to we're almost wrapping up. And this is just the last point. Challenges in implementing quality standards and metrics, which is choosing the right standards, defining useful metrics, resource constraints, and resistance to change. I'm sure when I give you the slides, it's going to be so much easier for you guys to understand everything. Master Sola complained about the words being repetitive. It's actually intentional so that the more you see the word um, theoretical, even though theory this is mostly theory, it sticks more in your head when you keep on hearing something over and over and over and over and over again. For me, that's how it sticks more in my brain because you're constantly practicing on it, right? So this is the last slide on policy standards and metrics. And the next topic is supposed to be continuous improvement in project management. So even me, I've been exhausted from talking. But then, regardless, I really, really hope you understood. And when you get to the slides, we're going to discuss more. on the pointers. I don't want to just give you the slide and hear that you didn't go through it and understand it, and you don't give me pointers in the next class. I'm honestly going to be, what's the word? Disappointed and sad. So, yes. Thank you, everybody, for being in this class. I don't know what to say, but thank you so much for being in this class. I look forward to seeing you in the next class, where hopefully, instead of more words, I'm going to give you more real life instances or examples. I think you people like examples more than pointers. So, yeah, we'll do that. We'll hopefully do that. Hopefully, we'll do that in the next class. So, thank you, Omadasala. Thank you, Sarah, too. Thank you. I didn't see Kemi. I didn't see Kemi today in this class. And thank you, Egolf. Project leaders. Okay, Teresa, I'll do that. I'll do my best to give you more examples so that it can be easier for you to assimilate everything. So, thank you, everyone, and good night. Have a blessed night and a great day ahead. Bye.